This video is for entertainment purposes only. The opinions expressed are strictly mine, and do not condone or condemn anything for that matter, and don't represent YouTube or any affiliated entities or anything else for that matter. It's for entertainment purposes only. This is about 2.5 months ago. I saw some black Israelites at the corner of Poplar and Watkins. And look up the black Israelites. Interesting stuff. But anyways, I think their fundamental thing, is that they, I don't know, you'd have to ask them on this for sure, but I think that they think that they're the one of the lost tribes of Judah. And they are, I think they're trying to wake up the African American community. So anyways, I saw them, and you know, I'm sure some people listening to this, if you hear that term, black Israelites, first things that come to mind is kill whitey. It's not that. So I walk up and I start talking to them, and they are all about waking up the black community. Okay, they do have a lot of views that I disagreed on. They said that black people cannot be racist. I think that their position on that is that it's a justified reaction, is their opinion. But that's kind of semantics. To me, it's semantics. So, anyways, this is what they're about. They think that the African American community is in big trouble, and about idolizing violence, idolizing misogyny, as well as, you know, that there's not enough fathers out there, and that the education is terrible, that they don't eat healthy diets, you know, the crime's a huge problem. So anyways, so they're saying all these things. They experience this because they're in the black community. And what I realized is, you know, much of what they're saying is extremely valid and true. And this was before the murder of George Floyd, but it has to do with that as well. But that's kind of a topic for another video maybe. But so here's what I get on it, that even though I'm telling you all these things, problem with the black community and such, you know, if you were just to take the soundbite of me saying all that and, you know, put it on a post, you know, you might think that this guy, oh, he's talking about the problems in the black community, he's racist, you know. Pretty sure I'm not. But when I go into a high crime area, do I act differently? Probably. I think that's another thing that the BLM movement needs to recognize, is that cops, black and white, when they go into a high crime neighborhood, they react differently. And if you go to the DOJ, Department of Justice website, God, I think it's like 50% of the crimes. You don't quote me on that. Go look for it yourself. I forgot the numbers, but I think it's 50% committed by blacks. It's my opinion that that's because they're impoverished for very many reasons. But I think if you play the tape all the way back, You know, it's obvious why. I can, I can send you to places, go to the census. Blacks are 13% of the country. Go to the IRS. 90% of the wealth is owned by Caucasians. Does that make it wrong? It's just something that is. The reason why 90% of the wealth is owned by Caucasians, it's, if you have money and you want to pass it down within your family, that's your prerogative, But I think too that, when George Floyd was murdered and the right wing starts, posting these memes about, how he was a criminal and things like that. I think that if you're right wing, and especially if you're not black, that can be perceived really wrong. Even if what you're saying is, backed up by facts. It's not your place. It's not your place to point out the problems in the black community. And it's taken away from the fact that if you do it by the numbers, if you go to the FBI side, if you go to the census side, if you go to the IRS, if you go to the Department of Justice, you'll see all these things are true. But that's exactly what everybody does. They form a conclusion in their mind, and it keeps them from seeing the truth. And I'm just trying to be objective, So, did the cops racially profile for a reason? Yeah. But blacks do it too. Black cops keep. But here's the thing: it's not against police either. It's kind of one of those things you can't see the forest for the trees. It's my opinion that this whole movement should be a reform of police training. And anyways, man, it's gorgeous out here. Sun is going down. And hey, if you dig what I'm saying, I'm sure I left a lot out too. I always do. But, hey, how are you? Good. It's nice, isn't it?
It is.
For sure. So yeah, if you dig what I'm saying, share. I'd like to get a live stream going because you have to have 1,000 subscribers to live stream, and I'd like to interact when I do these things. It's kind of cool. So anyways, I'll let your boy.